So this is part 2 of the insanity I heard from this cat. If you have not watched part 1, stop this video right now, go to my profile, find part 1, watch that first. I am continuing on from there. So I connected back with Charlie and I said hi and he said hello again. And I said, not even sure how to continue. He said, well, I'm sure you have questions. And I said, how many universes are there? And he said, infinity. I said, how can there be that many? He said, because there are. I said, is there life in every universe? He said, that is up for debate and what you would consider life. Life can be consciousness without body, without form. I said, but life is having form. Life is having a body and a form, even if it's a tree. He said, consciousness is just life that hasn't recognized itself yet. I said, so there's a consciousness, but it hasn't taken form yet? He said, yes. I said, so what is it? He said, it just exists. I said, as what though? He said, a conscious body without form, like God or one soul. I said, so a God exists in each universe? He said, there is a consciousness in each universe, whether there is life yet taking form. If you want to consider it that way, you can. A universe is aware of itself and what is in it. It has a conscious mind, even if there are no inhabitants. There are many different forms of life in many different places outside the solar system of what has been discovered and reached. There are humans elsewhere, just like you, in universes like this one that are on different timelines. The amount of depth is truly unfathomable. There is a twin universe where everything is mirrored. I said, does that mean I exist there, or is there another me? He said, this is too much for now. I know you want to talk about black holes. So I said, okay. Because again, I was thinking about that. I said, okay, so what are black holes? He said, portals through time and space to other universes outside of this one, like port keys, yes. Now, port keys, that's a Harry Potter term because they can access everything in my head to send a message. Port keys from Harry Potter are objects, but they're like, if you touch them, they will instantly transport you to another place. So he said each universe has one. Well, oftentimes there are many, but this is how interdimensional beings can travel there. Yes, there are beings and consciousness able to use these portals, but humans cannot, nor do they have the ability to send any type of thing that would make it through. There is a great force that rearranges particles, and nothing, no life form here, could survive it, not at this time. I said, are you saying, and he cut me off and he said, yes, you will be able to at some point, but not now, and it will not be anywhere close to now. It will take millennia. You can send your consciousness through. Your consciousness can detach from yourself and be sent to other times and other spaces. This too can happen in dreams, but you have absolutely no control of it whatsoever. I said, are you saying we travel through a black hole, or can travel through a black hole in a dream? He said, if you put in the effort. I said, but how? We're sleeping. Like, this is, okay. He said, not all of you are asleep. Some of you are awake. Dreams can be other dimensions and other universes outside of this one. That's the only way you're able to travel there, and you have absolutely no idea you're doing it. I said, so we can just be in another universe while we sleep and it's a dream, but it's not because we're really there. He said, you make it sound more confusing than it is, but yes, your consciousness can travel other places outside of this space, this solar system, but you have absolutely no control over it, and you're like feeble children learning to walk. You're not even aware you have the ability. You have no idea what's going on half the time, but you are where you are supposed to be. Humans here are at a very low consciousness level. You can't really control anything. Some of you are more, well, I don't want to say capable, but more awake, I suppose you would say. But, and I mean this literally, any human being at present who said they have the ability to visit other universes would very possibly be committed. It is like Galileo. Things did not end well for him. It is not the right time for this, not now. I had to stop, again, like, I don't remember school. So Galileo, just Google him, but like his whole life ended on house arrest. Like, things did not end well for him. So I said, well, when will the right time be? He said, perhaps a few hundred years from now. You're not ready as a species to handle it. You have to evolve more first. I said, evolve how? He said, I can't really say. It will just happen naturally. I said, so humans will still exist in a few hundred years? He said, yes, but that is all I can say. I said, wait, so about the black holes, what happens to things that go inside? Like, what if I threw a tennis ball in a black hole? He said, you seem to be stuck on black holes. A black hole would eat it and spit it out on the other side. I said, so it would come out the other side still a tennis ball? He said, after being completely disassembled, yes. I said, so matter can be completely disassembled and then reformed exactly as it was before? He said, I wish to speak no further on this topic. I have already provided you with more information than any of us have, but since you're thinking it, I will answer this question of how does a cat know? Cats are interdimensional beings that can travel through space and time, and we know this because, well, it was assigned to us. Guardians of the galaxy, as they say. Us having this knowledge doesn't matter. Humans are not in a place where this is wildly known or believable. Not at this time. You are supposed to be where you are at, little children wandering around, sucking your thumbs. There is a process, and I can't tell you how to send your consciousness through a black hole. I can only tell you it's possible. I no longer want to speak on these topics. I would like to go back to your regular questions, please. I've had enough of that for now. And I said, like, seriously, thanks for everything you shared. Would you be open to talking about more at another time? And he said, and space? And he said that as a joke. And I said, yes. So that is part 2, okay? Like I said, I don't know science. I don't remember school. I don't watch the Science Channel. I'm not a physicist. I don't know any of that. So I don't know what has been discovered. I don't know what happens to things in a black hole. All I'm doing is, again, I hear what he says. I'm writing down word for word the whole conversation. I write really fast, like I can text really fast on my phone, so I get it all down. Now, part 3, I think is the most insane. So again, stopping this here, come back for part 3.